Some people look at a problem and see a solution. Other Americans look at a problem, see a solution, and then decide to build it using a V8 engine and questionable welding. This isn't about home improvement. This is about the moments when ingenuity gets a little too much freedom. Here are 101 reasons why sometimes it's just better to hire a professional. 1. Let's start with a classic summer innovation, the pickup truck pool. A surprisingly common sight in rural America, the instructions are simple. Line the truck bed with a tarp, fill it with a hose, and enjoy. It's a mobile oasis that beautifully demonstrates a complete and total disregard for the laws of physics, especially water weight and vehicle suspension. 2. A man in Washington decided his backyard was missing some thrills, so he spent years building a fully operational 30-foot-tall roller coaster. This wasn't some little wooden ramp. It was a steel-tracked, gravity-powered beast that guaranteed thrills, spills, and probably a visit from code enforcement and a lawsuit or two. 3. In 1982, a man named Larry Walters decided flying was too expensive. So he attached 42 weather balloons to a patio chair, packed some sandwiches, and ascended to 16,000 feet, drifting directly into the controlled airspace of Los Angeles International Airport, shocking several airline pilots along the way. 4. For 38 consecutive years, Sarah Winchester, heiress to the rifle fortune, employed carpenters around the clock to build a nonsensical mansion. Her DIY project was a labyrinth of staircases leading to ceilings and doors opening into solid walls, all designed to confuse ghosts. Apparently, vengeful spirits are really bad with directions. 5. To handle a persistent raccoon problem, one homeowner reportedly didn't reach for a simple trap. Instead, he constructed a fully functional, historically accurate guillotine. This is taking your pest control to a level of seriousness not seen since the French Revolution, and it's frankly terrifying. 6. After a series of disputes with his town government, a muffler shop owner in Colorado spent a year and a half secretly encasing a bulldozer in steel and concrete. He then used his armored killdozer to demolish 13 buildings, including the town hall, in a DIY project fueled by pure rage. 7. This isn't a one-off. Federal agents routinely discover homemade submarines in various stages of construction across the country. These aren't for exploring marine life. They are sophisticated DIY vessels designed for one very specific and highly illegal type of import-export business. Spoiler alert, they aren't smuggling artisanal cheese. 8. For over 60 years, Jim Bishop has been single-handedly building a massive stone and iron castle in the Colorado mountains. With no blueprints, he has constructed a 160-foot-tall fortress, complete with a fire-breathing metal dragon. It's what happens when a weekend project gets a 40-year extension. 9. Numerous ambitious mechanics have tried waterproofing their cars to create an amphibious vehicle. The results are almost always the same: a triumphant drive into a lake, a few glorious seconds of floating, and then a very, very fast sinking. It's less of an amphibious vehicle and more of a high-speed baptism for your engine. 10. Forget SpaceX. There's a dedicated community of Americans who believe space travel is achievable with enough duct tape and a trip to a junkyard. Their backyard rocket projects usually end not with a giant leap for mankind, but with a small, smoldering crater in a neighbor's cornfield. 11. The humble potato cannon. For generations, it has been a rite of passage in American backyards. It's a simple PVC pipe masterpiece, usually powered by hairspray, that turns a common vegetable into a high-velocity projectile. Let's be honest, who didn't at least try to build one of these with their friends? 12. Why have a truck or a sedan when you can have both, welded together into one glorious, questionable vehicle? All across America, DIY mechanics create these pickup limos. They represent the pinnacle of ambition and a complete disregard for things like chassis integrity, weight distribution, and turning corners. Safety third, style also maybe third. 13. Some people fear the dentist so much they turn to YouTube and hardware stores. There are documented cases of people drilling into their own teeth using cordless drills and epoxy resin for fillings. It's DIY dental work at its worst, anesthesia not included, and the risk of infection thrown in absolutely free. 14. Some people don't just build a tree house, they build a tree mansion. In Tennessee, you'll find sprawling, multi-story structures with chapels and dozens of rooms wrapped around a single living tree. It's less a kid's hideout, more a glorious fire hazard with a spectacular view. 15. In Houston, Texas, one man spent decades covering his entire house with over 50,000 flattened beer cans. This created a shimmering metallic monument to recycling and cheap siding. The beer can house is a legendary example of what happens when your drinking hobby becomes an architectural statement. 16. Dealing with snow on your driveway? Or maybe some weeds. A surprising number of Americans look at a shovel and think, no, that's not nearly dramatic enough. So they build their own flamethrowers. It's the only gardening tool that solves problems with weeds, snow, and your neighbor's annoying garden gnome all at once. 17. A Boy Scout in Michigan, David Hahn, tried to earn his merit badges the hard way by building a nuclear reactor in his shed. Using materials from old clocks and smoke detectors, his project was so successful the EPA declared his backyard a Superfund cleanup site. The Nuclear Physics Merit Badge, however, remained just out of reach. 18. The motorized bar stool is a uniquely American invention, often featuring a small lawnmower engine. It brilliantly solves the problem of having to walk to the fridge for another beer. A man in Ohio famously found out that driving one on the street still gets you a DUI. I have to ask, would you risk it to ride one of these masterpieces? 19. If you can't afford a trip to England to see Stonehenge, just head to Nebraska. There you'll find Carhenge, a full-scale replica of the ancient monument made entirely from vintage American cars spray-painted gray. It's a bizarre and beautiful tribute to both ancient druids and mid-century automotive rust. 20. And finally, a Florida man, tired of break-ins, decided an alarm system was just too subtle. His solution? He rigged his front door with a homemade electric chair contraption. This is taking the concept of a shocking welcome to a whole new and very illegal level. The user manual was probably just a single skull and crossbones. 21. Why just lift your truck when you can give your sedan an identity crisis? Across the country, you'll find regular family cars perched atop monster truck frames and tires. It's the perfect solution for a problem that absolutely no one has, creating a vehicle that's impossible to park and requires a ladder to enter. 22. If you've ever thought your home security system was too quiet, some Americans have a solution for you: the air horn tripwire. It's a simple, elegant, and brutally effective way to announce a visitor. It won't stop a burglar, but it will give them a heart attack and ensure they never, ever come back. 23. Deep in the California desert stands Salvation Mountain, a 50-foot-high, 150-foot-wide monument to one man's vision. Built over decades by Leonard Knight using adobe, straw, and thousands of gallons of paint, it's a DIY testament to faith that looks like a Dr. Seuss book came to life. 24. Lawn mowing is a chore, right? Not if you're a DIY genius. A growing number of Americans have successfully built remote-controlled lawnmowers, allowing them to achieve the ultimate dream: cutting the grass while sitting on the porch with a cold drink. Isn't that what freedom is all about? 25. Every kid wants to be Batman, but some adults never let the dream die. This has led to the creation of fully functional, homemade grappling hook launchers. While they rarely work as smoothly as in the movies, they excel at punching holes in garage roofs and getting tangled in power lines. 26. The standard barbecue grill is for amateurs. True DIY enthusiasts have built grills powered by V8 engines. This isn't just for cooking, it's a statement. It's for when you need to sear a steak in 3 seconds and create enough noise to violate your town's sound ordinances from a block away. 27. A schoolie is a school bus converted into an RV, but some take it a step further, building entire log cabins on top of the bus chassis. It's the perfect blend of rustic wilderness living and the freedom of the open road, creating a vehicle that's both a home and a traffic hazard. 28. When the car door handle breaks, some DIYers just bolt a brass doorknob from their front porch onto it. It's functional, confusing, and the only vehicle mod that makes your car feel like entering grandma's living room. Bonus: burglars won't even know how to open it. 29. Before fancy VR headsets became common, there was the DIY version. a smartphone strapped into a cardboard box. This masterpiece of frugal engineering let you experience the metaverse with the stunning visual quality of looking through a toilet paper tube. It's immersive, in a very sad kind of way. 30. Why rely on NASA when you have a garage and a reckless disregard for gravity? Across America, brave inventors have attempted to build their own jetpacks. The results usually involve a brief, uncontrolled flight, a small explosion, and a very valuable lesson about the laws of thermodynamics. 31. The motorized beer cooler. It's a rideable cooler that lets you transport your drinks and yourself simultaneously. It's the official vehicle of tailgating parties and lakeside weekends. Honestly, who wouldn't want one of these? It's practical, it's portable, and it's probably illegal to drive on the street. 32. Some home builders like to live on the edge, literally. We're talking about backyard decks built with absolutely no visible support columns, jutting out into thin air. This isn't a deck. It's a test of faith in your own math skills. Every barbecue on one of these is an exercise in extreme trust. 33. In several states, you can find a bizarre monument to long-term dedication, the world's largest ball of twine. For decades, a single person, or sometimes an entire town, added string to these massive orbs, proving that any hobby, if pursued long enough, can become a very weird tourist attraction. 34. Duct tape, the handyman's secret weapon. But for some, it's a fashion statement. People have crafted entire prom dresses, suits, and wallets from the stuff. It's waterproof, it's durable, and it has the breathability of a Ziploc bag. A perfect choice for a night you'll never forget, mostly because of the sweat rash. 35. And finally, a Volkswagen Beetle is a cute, humble car. But what happens when you strap a decommissioned military jet engine to the back of it? You get a 2,000 horsepower street-legal monster that shoots 40-foot flames. It's the automotive equivalent of a chihuahua with the voice of a demon. 36. The Lazy Boy recliner is an American icon of comfort. But what if it could move? Enter the motorized couch. It's a real, drivable sofa, usually built on a lawnmower chassis that lets you cruise around your neighborhood without ever having to stand up. It's the only vehicle where a DUI is almost guaranteed just by sitting in it. 37. Computer geeks are some of the most intense DIYers out there. For the ultimate cooling system, some have submerged their entire PC in a fish tank filled with mineral oil. It's silent, it's efficient, and it's the only computer that might attract a cat trying to get a drink. 38. Why settle for a regular boat when you can have a floating 2-story party deck? Across America's lakes, you'll find pontoon boats with homemade second levels, complete with bars, grills, and even water slides. It's less of a boat and more of a floating code violation waiting to happen. 39. Some people look at a bicycle and think, this isn't nearly dangerous enough. This leads to the creation of insanely tall giraffe bikes, sometimes towering 10 feet or more. They're great for seeing over traffic and absolutely terrible for, well, everything else, especially stopping. 40. Flying is the ultimate dream, and for some, waiting for a pilot's license is too slow. The DIY helicopter, or gyrocopter kit, is their answer. It's a flying machine you build in your garage, often described as 1,000 moving parts, flying in loose formation, held together by hope and your own welding skills. 41. In Wisconsin stands a massive scrap metal sculpture park called the Forevertron. It was built by one man, Tom Every, who believed it was a celestial travel machine that would propel him into the heavens on a magnetic lightning force beam. This is what happens when your sci-fi hobby gets a large backyard and a welding torch. 42. Forget gas prices. A dedicated few have revived the World War II technology of wood gasification, building contraptions on the back of their trucks that burn wood to create fuel. Your vehicle ends up looking like a rolling science experiment and smelling like a campfire, but hey, the fuel is practically free. 43. The dream of the Cold War lives on in DIY underground bunkers. But some go even further, purchasing decommissioned nuclear missile silos and converting them into luxury homes. You get blast-proof doors and ultimate privacy, but your cell signal and Wi-Fi are probably non-existent. 44. Need to make 500 margaritas for your tailgate party and fast? There's a DIY solution for that. A brand new cement mixer. Just add ice, tequila, and lime mix and flip the switch. It's both horrifyingly unsanitary and brilliantly efficient, the perfect way to make a questionable decision for a huge crowd. 45. Out in the deserts and plains, you'll find them. Life-size dinosaurs welded together from old car bumpers, mufflers, and scrap metal. These junkyard T-Rexes stand as monuments to rust and imagination, proving that with enough spare parts, you can bring anything back from extinction. 46. For when you love your pet, but not quite enough to move your arm, there's the automatic petting machine. These are often complex Rube Goldberg-style devices with a single, simple purpose. It's the kind of invention that raises a very important question. Was all this effort really easier than just petting the dog? 47. Car audio is a serious hobby, but some take it to a physics-defying level. We're talking about DIY subwoofer systems so powerful they can flex the car's windshield, blur your vision, and set off car alarms a block away. It's not about listening to music. It's about experiencing it as a series of internal organ vibrations. 48. In the South, you might see a beautiful, strange sight: a bottle tree. It's a dead tree with its branches covered in colorful glass bottles, a folk tradition meant to trap evil spirits. It's a DIY project that's part garden art, part supernatural security system. 49. Why should a hamster have all the fun? All across the country, people have built giant, human-sized hamster wheels, either for exercise or just for the sheer absurdity of it. How long do you think you would last running in one of these before having an existential crisis? 50. And finally, when your daily commute is just too boring, you could build your own monorail. A few incredibly ambitious individuals have actually constructed personal backyard monorail systems to get around their property. It's the ultimate DIY solution to a problem that literally no one else has. 51. Remember those tiny electric Power Wheels cars for kids? Some adults looked at them and said, "I want one of those, but faster." So they souped them up with gas engines or powerful electric motors, creating terrifyingly fast street-illegal go-karts. It's how you relive your childhood and get a speeding ticket at the same time. 52. To get a 360-degree view without leaving his living room, one man in California built a house that revolves. With the push of a button, his entire home slowly rotates, changing the view from every window. Just don't forget where you park the front door before you leave for work. 53. Pumpkin spice is for amateurs. Real autumn enthusiasts build giant medieval-style trebuchets. These massive wooden catapults aren't for storming castles. They're for launching pumpkins half a mile across a field. It's the most aggressive form of seasonal decorating imaginable. 54. Before AC became standard, some people took cooling into their own hands, literally. One setup involved sticking a garden hose through the window and spraying yourself down every 15 minutes. It's the laziest sprinkler system ever and guarantees both hypothermia and mold. 55. Some people collect pens. One man in Houston decided to wear them by gluing over 10,000 of them to his car. It's the only vehicle where you're never without something to write with. But good luck explaining that to your insurance agent or the car wash attendant. 56. A hydraulic log splitter is cool, but it's not DIY enough for some. Enter the engine-powered screw splitter. It's a massive spinning cone of death attached to a motor that rips logs apart with pure, terrifying torque. It's a machine that respects no one and really wants to eat your gloves. 57. Following the grand tradition of Carhenge, Virginia offers its own low-budget version, Foamhenge. It's a full-size replica of Stonehenge made entirely of styrofoam. It has all the mysterious majesty of the original, with none of the permanence, and it could probably be defeated by a strong gust of wind. 58. Every kid has dreamed of having a slide instead of stairs. Some adults actually do it. They install massive twisting slides from their second floor down to the first. It's fantastic for going down, but significantly less practical for carrying groceries, or yourself, back up. 59. In South Dakota, you'll find the Corn Palace, an entire arena decorated annually with murals made from corn and other grains. It's a stunning display of agricultural art and the world's only building that also serves as an all-you-can-eat buffet for the local squirrel population. 60. The Ford Pinto was not known for its stellar safety record. So what did two Californian engineers decide to do? They strapped a set of wings to it and tried to make it fly. The Flying Pinto was a legendary experiment in ambition over aerodynamics. Spoiler alert, it didn't exactly soar. 61. The hot tub meal isn't just a bad idea, it's real. At certain parties, people have cooked corn, sausages, and even shrimp in the same bubbling water where guests soak. It's part relaxation, part soup stock, and 100% something the CDC would absolutely disapprove of. 62. There is no greater symbol of American defiance against paying for cable than the DIY television antenna. Fashioned from little more than a coat hanger and some aluminum foil, this piece of folk engineering was the original life hack for catching a fuzzy broadcast of the local news. 63. What do you do with that shopping cart you borrowed from the local supermarket? If you're a true DIY visionary, you cut it in half, add a grate, and turn it into a barbecue grill. It has questionable structural integrity and is seasoned with years of other people's groceries. 64. To get off the grid, some rural innovators build their own wind turbines using scrap metal, car alternators, and old washing machine parts. The result is a creaking, wobbling testament to green energy that looks like it might achieve liftoff during a stiff breeze. 65. And finally, some people don't just want to listen to music, they want to see it as bolts of lightning. DIY enthusiasts build massive Tesla coils and program them to play music, creating spectacular shows where electricity itself performs the Super Mario Bros. Theme song. It's where science and madness hold a rock concert. 66. Some motorcycle enthusiasts feel modern engines lack a certain charm. Their solution? Building a fully functional, steam-powered motorcycle. It's a gorgeous, complicated beast of brass and copper that takes 30 minutes to warm up and combines 19th century technology with the joy of sitting directly on top of a high-pressure boiler. 67. You've seen a Rube Goldberg machine, right? Well, some people apply that same logic to their morning routine. We're talking about fantastically complex, house-wide contraptions of levers, pulleys, and rolling balls, all designed to do one simple thing: pour a cup of coffee. It's an engineering marvel that usually fails right before the coffee gets made. 68. Is your mailbox constantly being destroyed by teenagers with baseball bats? The DIY solution is to build a new one out of a solid steel I-beam or an old engine block encased in concrete. It's a clear message that says, "Your move, vandals," and a guaranteed source of back pain for your mail carrier. 69. A piano is nice, but what if it could shoot fire? The pyrophone, or fire organ, is a real instrument that uses combustion to create sound. Every concert is a beautiful symphony of flames and music, and a constant, terrifying flirtation with third-degree burns and multiple fire code violations. 70. The broken car window, a universal tragedy. The iconic DIY fix? A trash bag and half a roll of duct tape. It's the automotive equivalent of a bandage, offering all the security of a wet paper towel and silently screaming to the world, "I will get to it next paycheck." 71. Why sit next to the lake when you can sit on it? The floating picnic table is a real and glorious invention, often powered by a small trolling motor. It elegantly combines the joy of boating with the constant, nagging fear that one wrong move will send your potato salad to a watery grave. 72. Anyone can put up Christmas lights. True holiday warriors engage in neighborhood warfare. We're talking about DIY light shows so massive and synchronized to music that they can be seen from space, cause local power surges, and make the Griswold family's display look subtle and tasteful. 73. The unicycle is already a difficult balancing act. So naturally, someone in America decided to improve it by strapping a running chainsaw engine to it for power. It's a vehicle that brilliantly answers the question, how can I combine extreme danger with maximum instability? 74. In the middle of the Nevada desert lies the International Car Forest. It's not one project, but a collaborative junkyard art gallery where dozens of cars, trucks, and buses are stacked, spray-painted, and buried nose first in the sand. It's a surreal post-apocalyptic masterpiece built from rust and imagination. 75. Making your own moonshine is a time-honored American tradition, but it's also a high-stakes science experiment. DIY stills, often built from old pressure cookers and copper tubing, walk a fine line between producing potent spirits and creating a small, garage-leveling explosion. 76. A broken shower head can be replaced, or you can just screw on a soda bottle with holes punched in it. This brilliant disaster delivers a shower that's both painful and pathetically weak. It's basically a garden sprinkler for your face, and possibly your last shower before calling a plumber. 77. To get that perfectly smooth shot for their YouTube channel, some aspiring filmmakers build their own camera stabilizers out of PVC pipes, skate wheels, and gym weights. It's a setup that costs $10 in parts and $300 in future chiropractor bills, all for a wobbly video of their cat. 78. The tactical shovel is a real DIY trend. Enthusiasts take a regular shovel, sharpen the edges, wrap the handle in paracord, and declare it a multi-tool for the apocalypse. It's perfect for when you need to dig a trench and fend off zombies, all with one incredibly awkward tool. 79. Have you ever wanted to sit on a couch while riding a bike? Of course you have. The couch bike is a real creation, usually a sofa frame welded between two bicycles. It's a masterpiece of cooperative transport that requires two people to pedal and a third to scream directions because no one can see where they're going. 80. And finally, nothing says, "My house, my rules," like building a full-scale, non-floating pirate ship in your suburban front yard. It's an incredible display of craftsmanship and a surefire way to trigger the longest and most furious homeowners association meeting in recorded history. 81. When rush hour traffic becomes too much to bear, a few ambitious metalworkers have built their own personal armored vehicles. These aren't quite tanks, but they're close. They're slow, they're probably not street legal, and they turn your daily commute into a slow-motion statement of defiance. This isn't road rage, it's road readiness. 82. Don't want to wash dishes by hand? The truly desperate D-er has a solution. Hook up a lawn sprinkler inside a sealed plastic bin. It doesn't use soap, it doesn't dry anything, and it probably leaves grass clippings on your plates. But hey, it gets the dishes wet, which is half the battle, right? 83. The power drill is a versatile tool. But for some, its true calling is in the kitchen. Using a power drill with a whisk attachment to mix cake batter is a real thing. It's a beautifully excessive solution that guarantees your ingredients will be mixed at 2,000 RPM, whether they want to be or not. 84. For the adrenaline junkie who finds bungee jumping too commercial, there is the homemade human slingshot. It typically involves 2 tall poles, a massive amount of surgical tubing, and one very brave or very foolish volunteer. The launch is spectacular. The landing is usually less graceful and more unplanned collision with nature. 85. Welcome to the Earthship, a type of house built from natural and upcycled materials like dirt-packed tires and glass bottles. It's a masterpiece of sustainable, off-grid living that looks like it was designed by hobbits from the future. Your neighbors will admire your commitment to the planet right up until they try to sell their own house. 86. The beer can hat, complete with straws running down to your mouth, is a legendary piece of DIY fashion. It's the pinnacle of hands-free party technology, a certified classic of tailgating and backyard barbecues. It's not just a hat, it's a declaration that you've officially peaked. 87. Building a backyard roller coaster is one thing. Building a full-sized working Ferris wheel powered by a lawnmower engine is another level of madness entirely. It's a slow, creaking ride that's less about the view and more about quietly praying that the welds hold for just one more rotation. 88. The broken car side mirror. A tragedy. The immediate DIY fix? A small makeup compact or a shaving mirror duct taped to the doorframe. It's a solution that perfectly captures the spirit of good enough for now and offers a new warning. Objects in mirror are more desperate than they appear. 89. Who needs drums when you have buckets? Some street musicians craft entire drum kits from 5-gallon paint buckets, lids, and scrap metal. It's raw, loud, and rhythmic. But more importantly, it ensures no one in your neighborhood ever sleeps past 7 a.m. again. 90. Some gun owners want more than just a safe, they want a surprise. This has led to DIY hidden gun racks, designed to drop from the ceiling or pop out of a coffee table with the flip of a switch. It's the perfect blend of home decor and tactical paranoia. 91. Why pay extra for pre-ripped jeans when you have power tools? People use sandpaper, cheese graters, and even angle grinders to achieve that perfect, distressed look at home. It's a process where you pay full price for pants and then immediately do $50 worth of damage to them on purpose. 92. The eco-friendly kayak. Built from hundreds of plastic soda bottles lashed together. It's a noble act of recycling that demonstrates your love for the environment. It will also almost certainly capsize, forcing you to demonstrate your love for swimming. 93. That stubborn pickle jar that just won't open. The average person runs it under hot water. The DIY warrior takes it to the garage and puts it in a bench vise. It's a high-stakes battle where the only two outcomes are glorious victory or a kitchen floor covered in broken glass and brine. 94. There's an elite group of amateur radio enthusiasts who take DIY to the final frontier. They build their own tiny satellites. These CubeSats are sometimes launched into orbit, a project that requires a genius-level intellect and a budget that could have just bought a really, really nice car. 95. And finally, because a simple house is too boring, some homeowners have built full-scale, non-functional lighthouses onto their suburban homes. It offers no guidance to ships, but it's a fantastic way to tell the pizza delivery guy, "Yeah, I'm the one with the lighthouse. You can't miss it." 96. For the person who finds walking to the other end of the clothesline too exhausting, there is the motorized clothesline. It's a system of pulleys and a small motor that brings your laundry to you. It's a solution to a problem that only exists if you are determined to never take more than 10 steps in your own backyard. 97. Why use an oven when you have a perfectly good dishwasher? A real and frankly disturbing DIY culinary trend involves sealing a piece of salmon in an airtight bag and running it through a full wash cycle. It's called dishwasher salmon. It's poached, it's efficient, and it's the one meal that might taste vaguely of lemon-scented detergent. 98. When a piece of plastic breaks, the average person throws it away. The DIY master, however, grabs super glue and baking soda. Combining them creates an almost instantaneous, rock-hard plastic weld. It's a brilliant chemical reaction that will fix anything from a broken toy to your finger, which is now permanently attached to that broken toy. 99. A car can take you places, and a hot tub can help you relax. One genius in California decided to combine them, creating the carpool. It's a road-legal, drivable hot tub. Imagine cruising down the freeway, soaking in bubbling water, while everyone else is stuck in traffic. It's the most magnificent and dangerous idea on this entire list. 100. Why buy fireworks when you have basic chemistry knowledge and a complete lack of self-preservation? Homemade fireworks are a time-honored tradition of turning a backyard celebration into an unscheduled visit from the fire department. It's not a party until you've accidentally launched a bottle rocket through your neighbor's screen door. 101. And finally, the most ambitious DIY project of all. When you're tired of taxes, zoning laws, and the government in general, what do? You don't just build a fence. You declare your property a sovereign nation. The American micronation movement is real, with countries like the Republic of Molossia in Nevada, which has its own currency, laws, and a long-standing war with East Germany. It's the ultimate DIY project, because the Ultimate Homeowners Association is the one you declare yourself president of. That was a 101-point journey through the fever dreams of American ingenuity. Now for the real debate. Forget creativity. Which single project on this list is undeniable proof that its creator is a genuine menace to society? I want you to name and shame the one that made you think that person needs their tools confiscated permanently. Let the arguments fly in the comments. If you made it this far, you're one of us. Prove it with a like and subscribe for more glorious chaos.